Hello dear learners, how are you? This is Pawan Kumar and I welcome you in my channel Tutorials of English by Pawan. Dear students, I wish you have been learning from all these videos. But today we are going to start a new chapter and that is very important when you learn tenses and grammar. I will try to speak everything clearly so that you can understand what it is. Before I start, I would like to correct you with the right name of this chapter name. The name is MODALS. Lot of people pronounce this word as modals, which is not right. That's why I thought that I should correct you from the very first beginning. Actually, this is not like this, the way people speak it, and if you are watching this video, then I wish you to pronounce this word accurately, correctly, properly. Now, this is as modals, modals. It's not modal or modals. So this is the very first thing, that it is modals. Now, what is modals? Modals are kind of auxiliary verbs. They are like helping verbs. The word is MODE, mode. Mode helps us, this modal chapter, this helps us to write sentences in the form of possibility, in the form of certainty, preference, advice, obligation, determination, and lot more things are there. Why? I'll be using Hindi as well so that you can understand. Modal शब्द MODE से बना है, मोड इसे बोलते हैं. मोड मतलब एक मैनर, एक करने का तरीका. सेंटेंस को अगर हम टेंसेस में सीख लेते हैं, जब हम उनके अंदर पॉसिबिलिटी, सर्टेनिटी, रिक्वेस्ट, उनके अंदर में हम परमिशन, उनके अंदर में हम विलिंगनेस, मीनिंग जब डालना चाहते हैं तो हमें उनका मोड चेंज करना पड़ता है. देन वी हैव टू यूज़ दीज ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब्स, हेल्पिंग वर्ब्स नोन एज मॉडल्स. कौन से वर्ड्स हैं मॉडल्स? नाउ लिसन टू मी. विल, शैल, वुड, शुड, कैन, कुड, मे, माइट, must. These modals are called core modals, C-O-R-E, core modals. And words like ought, O-U-G-H-T, need, dare, and used to are called semi-modals. Now, modals cannot be used alone but are special verbs, because unlike principal verbs. Example is, they can form questions. Modals help us to make questions like, can I help you? So can is a modal here. Will you help me? क्या तुम मेरी मदद करोगे? Will you help me? Will is a modal. They can make question tags. Question tags are used for questions. After a sentence, you have a small portion. For example, you shouldn't worry much, full stop, should you? Now, should you is the question tag. Now, we need these modals to make question tags. Like, he needn't come, need he means उसे आने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. क्या उसे है? Need he and question mark. And they can combine with NT to form negative. When you want to make negative, you have to write N apostrophe T. So you mustn't tell lies. तुम्हें झूठ नहीं बोलना चाहिए. He dare not touch these books. उसे इन बुक्स को छूने की हिम्मत नहीं होनी चाहिए. Now, we are going to start with the first modal. First modal today is will, W-I-L-L. Now, will is kind of helping verb which you use in your future tense, for example, future indefinite tense, future continuous tense, perfect tense, etc. That is the same thing here. But why we use will as a modal? Why? Now, modal will is used to express simple future when the subject is second or third person. Second or third person? Second or third person is except I. Which ones? You, he, she, it and they. Means with these pronouns which are second or third person, you have to use will to talk about simple future, right? For example, you will die of hunger. तुम भूख से मर जाओगे. The chief minister will lay the foundation stone tomorrow. चीफ मिनिस्टर कल को आधारशिला के लिए पत्थर जो रखने वाले हैं वो रखेंगे. So this is the chief minister will lay the foundation stone tomorrow, right? Second use of will is to express willingness, intention, determination, promise when the subject is first person, means I and we. Listen again. To express willingness. Willingness means when you have willpower, you want to do something, that is called willingness. Ichha Shakti. Intention. Intention means irada, right? Determination means you are 100% sure that you want to do something. People are determined. For example, you want to learn modals, so you are determined. A person must be determined when he, she has to do something. Promise, when you keep your promise. Examples, as I told you, are with I and we. I'll write to you again. Now, it's a kind of promise. मैं कल तुम्हें दोबारा लिखूंगा. I will write to you again, full stop. This is for promise. I will help you. Now here you can say it's like willingness or intention कि मैं तुम्हारी मदद करूँगा, ये मेरा इरादा है या मेरी इच्छा शक्ति है. I will help you. He will fight to the finish. Determination means वो आखिर तक लड़ाई करेगा. Dear students, dear learners, will सेंटेंस के साथ गा गे गी की हिंदी हमें मिलती है. Moving on to the third use of will. It is for to express a characteristic habit, assumption, invitation or request and insistence. Listen again. To express a characteristic habit. Habit, when you have some habit, now that becomes your characteristic thing. Assumption means consideration. Invitation or request. Insistence means दबाव. जब आपको कोई insist करता है, आपसे कोई request करता है, we can use this. Listen to these examples. A dog will usually obey his master. Now, this is the characteristic habit of the dog. A dog will usually obey his master. के एक dog जो होता है अक्सर वो अपने मालिक का कहना मानता है या मानेगा. Okay, so this is characteristic habit. He will be there by now. Assumption, I'm assuming this. मैं ऐसा मान के चल रहा हूँ. For example, I call my friend and he hasn't come yet. So किस समय तक वो आएगा? So I'm saying he'll be here by 12 p.m. हो सकता है कि वो 12 बजे तक यहाँ पर होगा. Will you come with me? Now it is a request. Will you come with me? It's a request. She will not listen to the doctor's advice. This is insistence. वो डॉक्टर की सलाह नहीं मानेगी. नोट करेंगे एक बात को, will is never used with the first person in the interrogatives. Means when you make interrogatives, you will never use will. All right. Shall. Now, shall, which in negative becomes shall not or shan't, shan apostrophe t, and will becomes will not or won't, won apostrophe t. Let's talk about shall. Shall is used to express simple future with the subject that is first person. Listen again, with first person, I and we. Now remember, when we used will with second and third person, but we use shall with the first person with I and we. Meaning is same. We shall learn this lesson tomorrow. हम इस लेसन को कल पढ़ेंगे. I shall help you. मैं तुम्हारी हेल्प करूँगा. If I have to make the same sentence with you, so this becomes will. You will help me, but with I, it is shall. I shall help you. Next use of shall is to ask for advice, means जब आपको सलाह चाहिए, suggestion, request, etc. when the subject is the first person, I, we in the interrogatives. Examples are, shall I bring a cup of tea for you? Now it's a request कि क्या मैं तुम्हारे लिए एक कप चाय लेकर आऊँ. Remember, this is the way it is in Hindi language. So such sentences जिनको आप इस तरीके से ख़त्म करते हैं. For example, क्या मैं लाइट ऑन कर दूँ? Shall I switch on the light? क्या मैं तुम्हारे लिए पानी लेकर आऊँ? Shall I bring a glass of water for you? In this way we use shall. Shall I open the window? This is advice. क्या मैं खिड़की खोल दूँ? गा. Here, remember, we do not say गागेगी in Hindi, or we sometimes finish like this कि क्या मैं दरवाज़ा खोल दूँ? Shall I open the door? Shall we meet tomorrow? क्या हम कल मिलें? So this is suggestion. Now, to express command, threat, warning, promise, assurance, determination, etc. when the subject is second or third person, again we use shall with second or third person with for these things like command, threat, warning, promise, assurance, determination. Subjects second and third. For example, you, he, she, they, etc. Now listen to these examples. You shall do it. Now it's a command. So that's why here I have used shall with you. तुम ये काम करोगे. You shall do it. If you simply say will, it will not be correct. But because in grammar test, or if you find that there is command in this sentence, you have to use shall with second and third person. You shall do it. It's a command. He shall be punished if he repeats his mistake. It's a threat. उसे punishment मिलेगी अगर वो गलती दोहराता है. So it's a threat. धमकी. He shall be punished if he repeats his mistake. She shall have a reward. It's a promise, assurance कि उसे एक इनाम मिलेगा. She shall have a reward. They shall defend their honor. This is determination. They shall defend their honor. उन्हें अपने सम्मान को बचाना होगा. Not when in doubt, use will. Means if you think somewhere you are not able to understand shall, you can freely use will. Now dear learners, I am keeping this first video related to modal only for will and shall. I'll make second video. Till then you have to watch this, understand it. Alright, bye bye, take care.